So the direct just happened, and I thought that I would take it upon myself, like I did with some of the previous updates, to talk myself and you guys through what has just happened, because there was a lot. Let me really quickly go through what I usually say at the beginning of the video. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Have a gander at the graph. Consider subscribing, because then I know that you're enjoying this content. Okay, there's a lot to unpack here, so I'm going to split it into two videos, one today and one tomorrow. I am literally filming this straight after the direct, so everything might be a bit crazy. I have notes, so I'm going to do my absolute best to try and put this together. I've made my notes from watching the direct and then writing it all down, so it is going to be in the order of what came up on the direct. If you didn't watch it, go watch it. You don't have to watch my video. Anyway, so first thing that came out was that they said that this is going to be a free update happening on the 5th of November, which is in 3 weeks. 3 weeks, and then this new update that is coming. The sad thing is, and they mentioned this at the end of the main portion of the direct, is that this is going to be the last free content update for Animal Crossing, which in my opinion is completely understandable because we've got an absolute crazy plethora of stuff happening. So I have no issue with this. There's obviously some things that I expected to have happened and they didn't because of previous hype for stuff, but I am incredibly happy with what they got. So let's dive into it. There's a lot. Brewster. Obviously Brewster's here. We got a proper look at what he has. You get to drink coffee there. Island residents can come over and have a drink as well. You can invite players over and, you know, your friends via local and online play to come and have a coffee as well. And you can also invite people or characters via amiibos and they can come and drink at your place. Now, it wasn't really mentioned in the direct whether you can invite previous people, so like Harriet or Katrina or anything, but I'll talk a little bit more about them a bit later on because they are now in the game, so maybe you can bring them over to your place and they can have a drink of stuff, which will be absolutely amazing. And then there's a little bit in the direct, and here's my reaction of that. And it's still 200 bells!
Kick back and relax while Brewster serves you up a cup of his finest hand-selected coffee.
Gyroids! Where there are gyroids in the background of the roost, so I thought they would be, maybe they're introducing gyroids. I'll get into that later. The next thing introduced was Cap'n, and my initial reaction...
This is Captain. You'll find him lounging around on your island's pier. Looks like he'll ferry you to a destination via his boat, his pride and joy.
Oh my god! Tour Time is back! Was that we will be getting Tour Timer. That wasn't specifically said, which made me a little bit sad, but whatever. But basically, you can go to Mystery Islands, you can pick up new flora, new fauna. It costs Nookmal ticket, obviously, or Nookmal's points, whatever you want to call it. He sings to you on the way there, which is a throwback to New Leaf, which I thought was really, really lovely. And the islands that you visit them in potentially different seasons, which means potentially different flora and fauna that you can pick up, potentially different creatures that you can catch, and also different times of day. And the one that they give an example to of in the direct was an asteroid shower, or shooting stars, whatever you want to call it. I think that is awesome. I'm very, very happy about that. Next, and this is where they introduce more characters, Harvey's Island is getting a major update because in my opinion it was kind of useless before. Did anybody really use it bar the wedding event? Not really. New characters, or the characters that were in the previous game but are now new to New Horizons, can come to Harvey's Island and set up a little caravan spot once you've paid for it by talking to Lloyd, and they sell things, they give things out. They basically, you get to see Leafy, Sahara, Kix, Harriet, Reed, Katrina's there, which gives me a little bit of an inkling of maybe there's luck being introduced into the game. They didn't specifically say that, but you do get fortunes, and this was my reaction of this moment.
In addition, Katrina will reveal your fortune for that day.
There's no such thing as bad times, only times that are bad. And the benefit of these new characters being there is that you can potentially get, you know, exclusive items, exclusive customizations, and so much more, which I'm really, really happy about. I'm very happy that Harriet isn't just a mirror now. Another small thing that they introduced was group activities that you can do on your plaza, and the one that they showed was doing stretching, which you can either do with your Joy-Cons or with pressing the button, so you can do it, you know, like with Wii Fit or something like that, which is very, very cute. Another small thing you can put in town ordinances. Now, if you didn't play the previous games and you don't really understand what they are, they're basically rules that you can put in place on your island. So, for example, the early bird one means that people wake up earlier, the night owl one means that people stay up later, there's one where you can keep the island looking nice with the villagers doing stuff, and one where I think things cost less or you just get more money or something. I'm not entirely sure, but that's like a bell bloom or something ordinance, and I think that that's very cool. It means that, you know, it's another thing from the previous games being introduced. There are now more house customizations, so you can actually customize the exterior of your house, not just color wise but actually shape wise, so you can make it look a little bit more like a cottage or a little bit more like a zen place or whatever, depending on the theme of your island. Storage is getting upgraded to 5,000 spots, which is absolutely insane. I'm very happy with that, and I'm assuming that we're getting that because if and we're getting gyroids and potentially loads of new furniture because they did show bits and pieces, then we're going to need the space at the end of the day, aren't we? There's also more things that you can buy with your Nook Miles points, like hairstyles, apps for your phones, and more. You can just have a gander at the image here. There's many things, but I'm trying to make this as fast as possible. There was also one thing that you could buy from the Nook Miles counter, which is absolutely insane, and if you looked at data mine things before, this was kind of teased, but now it's actually in the game, is that there is now farming and cooking, which is crazy. So you can get things like wheat, tomatoes, sugarcane, obviously your pumpkins, and then you can craft these into different things and you can use them to either display in your house so we get more food items, or you can actually eat them and get stamina for picking up trees and knocking down rocks and things like that. This kind of puts a little bit of a dilemma out there for some people where if you have like a farm space and maybe it's not a big enough farm space, you're going to have to create a bigger farm space for your island, but you know, we'll see how that goes. You can now put things on the ceilings, which I kind of thought was going to be a bit of a given. You can put wallpaper on one wall to create an accent wall or a feature wall in your house, which is really cute. And obviously there's new furniture that goes along with that because they're introducing new furniture. One of the slightly smaller but also huge things that they mentioned was that bridges and inclines were not limited to 8 anymore, we're getting 10, which is amazing, but maybe means that I now need to redo my entire island. We'll see. So we're getting new fencing, so we're getting like a park fencing, a frozen fencing, larger versions of fencing that we already have, and you know the basic bog standard fencing that you can get, the picket fence, we can actually customize that now to different colours, which is great. I'm assuming we can maybe customize other ones to different colours, which will be fabulous. That's the one they gave an example of, but that'll be absolutely amazing if we can actually customize it. The camera app is getting an upgrade so that we have new perspectives, potentially fun for thumbnails, which could be quite cute. And another small thing is, you know the custom designs you got from Mabel after talking to her and talking to her and talking to her and making friends? You can now use them to maybe, you know, make an item of clothing or make an accent wall in your house. I'm assuming that this is going to be the same with downloadable custom designs or ones that you create yourself. It wasn't exactly said, but I'm assuming the same because they said custom designs. We're getting 11 new reactions. My personal favourite that they showed was bobbing to music, which I thought was really lovely. And another app that's coming to the phone is like a hints and tips app for potential new players that will be coming, because in my opinion this update is going to bring a whole flurry of new players because of how huge it is and how much content there is, and just it creates new hype for the game at the end of the day. So them introducing this kind of inclusive feature so that people who start the game aren't going to get really flustered or overwhelmed with stuff is a really good move on them. There's new redeemable furniture from the Nook Miles app program thing, and another thing which is great, we're getting a storage container outside that connects to your storage in your home. How amazing is that? No more piping around. KK is also getting a few new songs, which is great, but the best part of it is the new piece of furniture that comes for it, which means that we're getting like a little music box that plays the music for you, which warms my heart. And before I talk about the next bit, let's just put my reaction in there, shall we?
Looks
So
like
cute.
something's buried underground.
Oh,
Is
I've
it
been
a
neglecting
fossil?
these.
It's
Yes!
a gyroid.
Get in! Come
When you
on!
find gyroids,
Gyroids. Do I need to say any more? They're plantable. You get like gyroid fragments and then you plant them, you water them, and they grow into different varieties, which is great. There's also new types that they've created for this game compared to other games, and they look really cute in my opinion. They look really good, and I'm really excited to see all the variants that you can get, potentially collect them all, question mark. There's new furniture that hasn't been seen in the previous games that is coming to the Nooks, but sadly there's no Nooks upgrade, which is a bit annoying, but hey, there's only so much that they can do in one update, isn't there? Placeable ladders. This is going to bring so much joy and fun to when people are creating different builds on the island. It's very cute. You can place it wherever you want and actually climb up with it. It's interactable. It is great. Another small thing, you can shuffle between small places in your house. Villagers also now have new speech patterns, including being able to invite you over to their house or turn up to your house as a surprise visit, which is another throwback to the previous games. There's new villagers. There was also a flash of Froggy Chair. Froggy Chair! They listen to the fans! But with that, that is all of the stuff that was introduced in the main bulk of the game. Like I mentioned, this is the last free major update that's coming for Animal Crossing New Horizons, which brings me a bit of speculation that potentially if they are going to introduce anything else, if maybe they're going to do another major update in say a year's time or 6 months time. Is that going to be paid? No idea. But there is one paid part to the game, which I am going to talk about in next video, tomorrow's video. I really hope that you decide to join me and have a gander at that, because I'd very much appreciate it. But I'll just leave you with the words of what it is. It's basically Happy Home Designer, and if you played Happy Home Designer, you know that this thing is awesome. But we'll talk about that in the next video. Bye!